are good-sized catfish.
There's some nice catfish in here. There's probably some 20-pounders in here. See how they're just like an old vacuum cleaner.
At any given moment in life, there are issues of great importance that seem to consume our time and attention. Of all the cultural nuances found in Texas, it's the age-old dispute concerning a hole filled with water that commands our focus. We figured of anyone, Kenneth Henneke should be able to clarify the dispute that has divided Texans for decades. Is this body of water a pond or a tank?
So, a tank or a pond? It's, your customers that come in here, some of them want fish for their pond and some want fish for their tank.
Well, to answer that, I guess it's locale where they come from. I would guess you'd say west of 35, it's a tank, I-35. East of 35, it's a pond.
But they're the same thing.
They're the same thing, no difference. It's just a hole in the ground that they made that will hold water. Okay, Johnny, they need 100 hybrid catfish and then 2,000 shiners.
Well, whether it's a pond, tank, or giant reservoir makes no difference to Kenneth. Like any day here, the place is busy. And the crew rides herd over hundreds of thousands of tiny minnows, huge game fish, catfish, and even carp.
This is the fathead minnow. Here's the shiner minnow. This is the same minnow you buy in the store to go fishing with. These here are the copper-nosed bluegill, I think, in here. Up here, the tilapia. That's the African grass carp. These are the bass. People like bass. They like the sport of catching bass.
For better than 40 years, Henneke's has provided aquatic livestock all over Texas.
How far away y'all delivered fish?
We go all over Texas. Probably the furthest we ever gone is El Paso, Abilene, Comanche, Lubbock. Every once in a while, we go over to East Texas, all the way out around Beaumont and places like that. And South Texas and the hill country, pretty regular.
Just people wanting their pond or tank or lake stocked with your fish.
Yes, sir. I started with blue cats. First year, I sold every blue cat head and run out. And so that's when we went into fish business. And so we went ahead and got all types of fish, complete line of fish, everything. And we went ahead and gone from there. Here's the catfish. Here's the hybrid catfish.
Of all the years in fish farming, Kenneth's pride and joy is the hybrid blue catfish, wildly popular with anglers and chefs alike. Created through an exhaustive research project with Auburn University, and this is the only hatchery in Texas with hybrid blues.
This catfish fights like you wouldn't believe.
Now, how big would these get?
I don't know how to explain that, how big will they get. I really don't know for sure. But our country bakery people over here bought about 300 of them and put them in their lake. And they fed them stale bread for 5 years. So they asked me, Kenneth, how big do you think they are? And I said, probably 20, 25 pounds. They started laughing. They averaged 40 pounds.
40?
There was some that weighed over 40 and some that weighed under 40.
On stale bread?
On stale bread. You've come at the right time. We breed these fish right here in the nursery hatchery room. Each little egg is a little catfish. You see that little bitty tail?
Yes.
It kind of looks a little whitish looking on there. In another 2 days, this egg will be a little catfish. That's about 20 or 30,000 babies in there.
I've never been to a fish nursery.
You've never been to a fish nursery?
I've never been to a fish nursery. I never even knew there was one that existed.
Yeah. I'm one of them old timers. I'm from around here a long time. I'm going to be 81 this year.
Oh, I'm 77. That's my feeder going off at my place over there.
And that's the hybrid catfish.
That's all hybrid catfish.
It was at the end of a long dirt road near Hallettsville, Texas, where we found a fish farm that, through 40 years, has achieved legendary status in the world of aquaculture. Whether you call them stock tanks or farm ponds, one thing is certain.
Thank y'all.
Kenneth Henneke is the patron saint of freshwater fish across Texas.
Look, I won't be 81. I don't want to quit work. Who wants to quit work? I'd go crazy.
I love that story.
Me too, and we've got plenty more where that came from.
Just click on the subscribe button and keep traveling with us.